and the Iraqi security forces have increased their op tempo. The Iraqi security forces, their capability and their capacity has continued to grow. The Sons of Iraq have grown to about 103,000, so that's worked out real good. And the people have turned against al-Qaeda and terror. And so I think the benefits of the surge are undeniable. Now, we have to be careful, and we still have a big fight there to go. But I think we're not quite at the irreversible momentum, but we're getting very, very close. So I think there's been some great success here in the last year.
All right, give us some of the breakdowns by city. Let's take it from the northern city, the ethnically mixed northern city of Mosul, very vital near many of the oil wells, the oil installations up in the northern part of the city. Here's Mosul. General Campbell, how are we doing up there?
Well, I think we're doing pretty good under the leadership of Lieutenant General Riyadh, who I think you met before. He used to be down in Baghdad with us on the east side, but now he controls Mosul. But I really have to stress that the Iraqi security forces, for the first time, are controlling 3 of the strategic cities. And as you heard, Amara, probably the 4th there. But they started down in the south in Basra, moved north to Mosul, and then into Sadr City inside of Baghdad, where there's 2.3 million people. And as the reporter just said, they're now moving in Amara. And these are Iraqi security force-led, planned operations with some support from the coalition, and I think they're doing very, very well. Last week was the lowest week of security incidents since March of 2004, and also last week was the lowest number of IEDs we've had in Iraq since September of 2004. So I think the success there is very good. But I think we're very, very happy with what we're seeing from the Iraqis.
Okay, give me Basra specifically, briefly, General. Then I want to get to Sadr City, that very troubled neighborhood near the capital of Baghdad. But what about Basra, the southern town, where so much of the oil flows to those tankers waiting in the Persian Gulf?
Well, I think, as you know, in the past in Basra, they could not walk around. The people feared for their life. But because of the security operations that have gone down there and continue to go through, the Iraqi security forces now have taken control back of Basra. Commerce has started back up. People are walking on the streets. Economic development is coming up. The streets are being cleaned. But I think it's working very, very well down in Basra.
All right, what about the troubled Sadr City? You and I were there together, very dangerous place. They blew up that meeting, killed 4 of our people a week or so ago. Is even Sadr City improving, or do you think that will remain that open wound?
Well, I think when you and I went in there, Geraldo, we could not move Iraqi security forces throughout the city, and the coalition forces stayed below phase line gold in the south there. But now Iraqi security forces are all over Sadr City. Economic development is going on. Streets are being cleaned up. And I think the people are coming outside now. And if you talk to the people in Sadr City, they are very, very happy with what they're seeing. So I think that 2.3 million people are very, very much happier than they've been. But they want and they need the essential services to start in Sadr City. So water, electricity, they need that. The people need jobs. And I think the Iraqi security forces and the coalition forces working with the Iraqi government have started working toward that end.
How do you respond, General, to the critics who say if it wasn't for the fact that Muqtada al-Sadr has called a unilateral ceasefire and the fact that we paid off, quote unquote, the Sunni tribes in the desert, in the western desert, we'd have all hell on our hands to this day?
Well, I think, as you know, the concerned local citizens, initially now called the Sons of Iraq, they got fed up with al-Qaeda. They got fed up with the violence, and they have worked toward reducing the violence in their own country. So I think the Sons of Iraq movement was very, very critical. Muqtada al-Sadr has asked his people to put down arms in some cities. In other cities, they continue to fight. There are special groups, pieces of Sadr City's Muqtada army that do not listen to him. They continue to fight. As you mentioned, there was some IEDs and some bombs last week that killed some soldiers. Our thoughts and prayers with their families. So it'll be a continued fight in Sadr City, but I think it's great progress from when we were there. When you or I were there, we had one joint security station. Now there's more than that, several.
Okay, General.